Through these halls, where lovers get lost and lust consumes the wicked, a place where reality collides with fantasy, in the pages where romance is second to none. Welcome to the Lover's Library.
Hey, lovers!
I'm Carly.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Zoe.
Welcome to the Lovers Library podcast. We are so happy you're here.
Hey.
Hello.
All right, so the book for this month, and honestly, I hope that you guys enjoyed our last couch conversation. That was really just us genuinely having a conversation of just randomness.
Yeah.
Lots of talking, questions.
Yeah, y'all should hear our regular conversations because they sound a lot like that.
Yep.
And I hope that you feel like we're all best friends. You, the listener, us, the podcast people vibes.
Yep.
Because that's what the kind of community that we want to build here. So we love you guys, and let's jump into the episode. So what's our book for this podcast?
So get your wine, friends.
Your wine. Ding, ding, ding,
So,
ding,
okay,
ding.
so this book is The Inn on Harmony Island by Anne-Marie Meyer. So what's the scoop? This is book 1 of 5 of a series. She calls this series the Sweet Tea and Southern Gentleman series.
Which I love. That's so cute.
I know. She's written a ton of books. She has 5 kids, and she has 4 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, you got lucky on that girl. Isn't that what everybody says?
Yeah. It sounds like that one maybe was the last one too. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking, because she says
yeah.
she's like extremely spoiled and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
And then she said she's married to her knight in shining armor. So I thought that was so cute. But she definitely has a ton of books, multiple series, all sorts of stuff. So, and I did see a holiday one in there, a Christmassy one.
I saw that one too.
We
but
love a
I think
good
it's
holiday.
book 2 of a series.
And you know that
Sounds
her
like
vibe.
she wrote it alongside another person,
Oh, really?
unless she used a pseudonym.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure.
We'll have to look more into that.
I love a dual author book.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of that. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. So here's the book. Shelby heads home to Harmony Island for her grandmother's funeral. As relieved as she is to leave, she gets called back 6 months later for the reading of her grandmother's will. Her history on Harmony Island wasn't the best, and she is forced to work with Miles, her ex-stepbrother. But he isn't the same boy she once knew.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
So
Lovers quarrel.
did you guys get like, oh
The
God,
ick?
what was that movie? What was that movie?
Clueless.
Yeah, did you get
Yep.
Clueless vibes?
Yep.
I don't.
What?
Was that a thing? I've seen it, but it's been like when I was younger.
Yeah, it's
honestly, I don't
her,
remember the
I
plot of that.
Is he her for
It was-
real stepbrother though in
Yeah.
that?
Stepbrother.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions? Question mark.
This one, at least, they were
And
siblings.
they were
from
only for a little bit.
I was going to say, from what it sounded like, they were really young when they were step siblings. And then, like, in high school, that's the thing. There's a lot of backstory between those two that we didn't learn about.
Yeah. What the heck?
She mentioned it heavily throughout the entire book about,
but
like,
we never
that night or
got into
him
it.
saying I should have came after you and blah blah blah. We're like, what happened? But it never said.
No.
So I think at the very end of the book it mentioned that there's more of their history to
Come in the next one.
come in the next books.
Okay. Can I? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Anne Girly, love ya. I actually really like how she wrote.
So Anne Marie.
Anne-Marie, honey. Mrs. Maya. Okay, I had a problem with that from the jump, and I think it turned me off for the rest of the book.
Really?
It did.
It did at first, and then
I couldn't get with it through it. I think it made me more annoyed about some of the situations in the book than
Yeah.
I would have liked. If they would have taken that out and they were like ex-best friends or something, I think I could have stomached the book a little more.
Yeah.
But I think that was a key aspect that just it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to find some aspect of the book for me to be a
Connect with.
part. Yeah,
Mhm.
and from the jump. That one.
It's
kind
because you don't have a stepbrother, right?
I do.
You're not in love with him?
Do you
I
have
love
an,
them dearly.
Do you have an ex-step? But okay, how long have they been your stepbrothers?
Since I was born.
See, that would be
Okay,
weird.
so imagine
Because you don't see them as your stepbrothers.
No,
then.
that's my
they're your brothers.
But
yeah,
this kid came into her life,
when she was already,
and she's like, okay, whatever. For what? 3 years is
Maybe.
what they said, maybe?
yeah,
And then was out.
yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
That's like having a roommate.
There's no blood. They're not.
I know. I mean, y'all
Yeah.
are trying to justify it and I appreciate that.
I'm just trying to help.
I
I don't
know.
know.
But here's the thing. I did, outside of that, I did actually enjoy the book. Like, there were some specific parts
Yeah.
when we talk about it, now
Yeah.
that I'll highlight. Because there was, like, it was a good plot line. I think that just key aspect was something that I had a hard time connecting
Yeah.
with.
Makes sense.
There was a little bit about the writing style that it took me a little bit to
To get into.
get into, because I felt like when I was reading this book, I was trying to figure everything out. I was constantly trying to figure it
I
out.
was doing that too, yeah.
Like, what's going on? What's this and that? And
How
like,
are they
why
all going to connect?
Yeah, like what?
And then Abigail her POV was
Yeah.
in there too.
That's what I was gonna
So
talk
like,
about.
That was
girl,
my
what we
thing. Like,
doing?
I couldn't figure out why she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are 3 point of views in this book. We have Shelby's point of view, where she's basically like the main character, the heroine, and then and then Miles. So he's the male main character,
MC.
and then all of a
MC?
sudden we get this Abigail, and it's like, what the heck? Who is she? Like,
The second book is hers, though.
yes.
So,
And I'm
Yes.
hoping it's with Bash.
oh, girl, me too. Okay.
Let's not
okay.
get to
Yeah.
F, Marry, Kill.
We'll
'Cause
get-
I already have
We'll
my
get
answers.
we'll introduce Bash in a second. But so, yeah, we figure Abigail is like completely unrelated.
I know.
Yeah,
both of
it was.
them.
I was like,
'Cause they just
Abigail,
have a little-
Shut up! I'm not. I don't care
A weird,
about
like,
you.
meet cute.
Yeah.
And then
It-
we're friends, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
needed.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was like Shelby and Miles had their thing. They knew each other before. And then Shelby eventually meets Abigail at the bookstore / cafe that Abigail owns and works
Yeah.
at.
And they become besties.
Yeah, they become really good friends. But that just really threw me off. I think I spent a while trying to figure out how she fit into the story, and like, was she like the third person and she was going to end up getting with Miles?
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
trying to figure it out more of just, she's just another character in the story.
And then there was Laura. And I was just like, Shelby, what are you doing, honey? But okay, then it makes me think:
I
is the
completely
next
forgot about Laura.
is the next book for POVs? Because then we're gonna throw
I hope
Bash
not.
into that. But let's get into the good,
Okay.
juicy parts of the book.
So
Where do you start highlighting things for the book?
I just kind of touched on some of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah, go
Actually,
ahead.
I highlighted the very first sentence
Oh,
because
Okay.
it intrigued me.
Read
Yeah.
me, read
And
me,
not
honey.
because it was like super important or anything,
Mhm.
but just things like that draw me in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know where it is.
It's at the very
My
beginning of the book.
bookmarks? Well,
It's-
I was trying to find my highlights.
You could just go to the very chapter 1.
I
prologue.
never noticed the way rain looked as it fell into puddles. And that's just
Aw.
like a small thing that doesn't matter. But
yeah.
It does.
like when I read that, I was like, okay, I like this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked I think we learned a lot about Miles in that first point, because she made him sound pathetic.
Yeah, I
At
really
the
didn't
very
like
beginning,
him.
when we're introduced to Miles, they're at the funeral,
him.
and Shelby's saying, I haven't cried at all, and Miles has been crying this whole time. I'm sorry, there's something different when a man cries. It
Yeah,
breaks
for
your
sure.
soul.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
it's not. And she's over there being like, he's cried enough for both of us. Like, brr, brr, brr.
That was another thing. I didn't like her.
I didn't
didn't
like her
either.
at first either.
And I want to like emphasize the fact that she kept saying my grandmother. And that was
Yeah.
kind of making me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she said, thank you for taking care of my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Listen, I know my grandmother meant a lot to you, but
Mhm.
like, girl, it was kind of his more than yours at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she would be like, he, was with her more. And so, like, she was flip-flopping with how, like, devastated because of the lack of relationship that she had with her grandma towards the end of her life. And
Mhm.
I'm guessing since ever she left.
Yeah.
And then the growth of a relationship that Miles had with their grandmother
Mm-hmm.
because essentially,
Well, he called her
for-
Charlotte. He didn't call her grandma.
Yeah,
That's
but I
true.
mean, if I was to get a grandma like at
But,
14, I would. Be
I
like,
mean,
Charlotte.
if we're defending that they weren't step brother sister for very long, like he's not seen her as a grandma. He's seen her as
Charlotte.
someone that cares about me and that will help
Yeah.
me or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just want to give a little backstory because I feel like we talked about stuff that people might. Not
Oh yeah, sorry.
understand.
We just kind of
Well, honestly, when I was reading it, I was like, did I miss a book beforehand?
Yeah. So, Shelby lives in New York
Mm-hmm.
now. She used to live in Harmony Island. Something happened there. We
With
don't
an
really
ex.
know. We know she had an ex. We know she got pregnant. We know she lost the baby
At
Mhm.
19.
at 19. And we know that Miles caught her ex cheating on her. And he told this ex either straighten up or leave her. Like, you don't do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the guy left.
Okay, can I give you my assumption of what happened between them?
Yes.
Do you want me to finish my thing?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, girl, go ahead.
I
You
just
know,
feel
we
like we're like
interrupt-
cutting, we're like just mashing it up so no one's
I
gonna know
know,
what the
I
hell's
know.
going on.
I know. We have so many thoughts.
Okay, so I don't even remember where I was now. So the ex leaves, and that's all we know of that situation.
Yeah, true.
Shelby is heartbroken and devastated and pissed, and she
Runs.
leaves.
Yeah.
She goes to New York, and everything's fine.
Belle came.
And then Belle came, or something like that. It was either because he wasn't being he was like, I wasn't making good choices. I was doing like bad things
Right.
and all this stuff. So he made it sound like he went through a rough patch after she left because he
Which
was
kinda makes
heartbroken,
sense. Yeah.
had a one night stand or did something
Mhm.
with Tamara, I believe was her name,
I said Tamara.
Tamara. And she ends up getting pregnant, leaves
Mm.
the baby
With
on
him.
his doorstep basically, and
Mhm.
so he's by himself trying to raise this baby. So he's with Charlotte, and she is like taking him under her wing.
Mhm.
He's helping her with the inn because she owns this inn, and he's helping her, she's helping him. They're living happily. Shelby's doing her own thing, doesn't have to come back to Harmony Island, and then that's when the funeral happens and she comes back.
Charlotte passes away.
Yeah.
And then after they go to the funeral, that's when she has to come back for the will reading,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets fired from her job in New York.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it's
it didn't sound like she was that good anyways.
yeah, well,
It made it sound like she was like up and coming.
yeah,
I think it sounded like she was good.
Well,
She was up and coming in it, and then later they find out that the reason why she was fired because they were hiring some heiress.
yeah, but she talked very highly of herself. She was like, they wouldn't write a magazine article about, and even if she thought that it was being written about her, she was in the background of the photo.
Yeah.
So I think she was like manifesting that.
right.
I don't think it was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you said, maybe they interviewed her for the article and then they like flipped it on her.
Yeah.
So then she comes back for the will reading, finds out that in order for her to inherit the inn and not let it go to Mrs. Piper,
Yeah.
is that her name?
Missy.
Missy,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the rival of Charlotte and like their family,
And her
Apple
ex's
Blossom
mom.
B&B.
which we hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was I did not like her.
She's not. She's a.
She's like
Gossip
every
whore.
southern gossip girl in a small town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, anyways, in order for the house not to go up for auction, then Miles and
Shelby.
what Shelby?
Shelby.
I heard Felipe. I don't know.
Felipe.
For them to stay at the inn for 6 months, and they have joint ownership, 50-50 split. And if one of them, if they decide at the end of the 6 months that they want to sell it, then they can.
They
can go
both
for
have
auction.
to agree.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we end up with her back in Harmony Island with Miles on the
Mhm.
same property, and
Yeah.
feelings and things start to come back up,
Mm-hmm.
and feelings and vibes, and that's kind of where the story is kind of set up.
Mm-hmm. And
to
then they
be.
throw Abigail in there,
Yeah, which is
which
random.
Shelby meets her right after the
I want her life.
The
the
will
will
reading?
reading, and
Yeah.
she's having a panic attack because she realizes she has to stay there for 6 months, and she has all these bad memories from inside of the inn.
I kind of wanted her to just like shut up and get over it.
Me
Right?
too.
Like we all
didn't-
have trauma. Chill
well,
out.
that, and we didn't know anything that was going on, and like from Miles' point of view, it seemed like Charlotte was like
Pretty good.
pretty awesome. Like
Yeah.
she helped him out, like she was showing him
But
how to take
even
care of it.
When he was explaining it, he was like, she regrets that night or what she said to you or whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't ever get that information.
Yeah.
So
I
how
don't
can I
the
feel bad
same-
for her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So it
have
was
the
like
same
all-
fire in me that Shelby has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or vengeance against a grandma.
Yeah. But she does come around. I wasn't that crazy about Shelby at first, and then I started
I
to like her.
appreciated that she didn't want to let Missy have the inn,
Right.
but she
Right.
also wasn't
Yeah.
sure she wanted to sell it because
Mhm.
she even said something about her grandmother rolling in her grave or something.
Right. So it was a weird relationship that they had. But okay, let me give you some of my highlights that I have for the book. So one of the first ones is, I think it's from Miles. Yeah, it's Miles's point of view, and it is at the end of chapter 8. And I kind of don't remember the context of this situation, but it says, no matter how much I wanted to confront her to fix the broken things in our past, I wasn't going to put that pressure on her. I was going to let her heal, even if it meant I needed to wait in the shadows.
I have that recorded or highlighted as well.
Yeah. And I kind of, okay, out of the book, I liked him the most, him and Bash, but that's just my own personal thing. And I just felt like he gave her space and time to kind of feel, but he also pushed when, like, in order for things to move along, you needed a push because
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
wasn't gonna.
I agree. At one point, he was like kind of pushing her on something, and then he realized she was freaking out, so he backed up,
Yeah.
and then she said no. Like,
Yeah.
come back. So I was like, at least she finally stepped up and said, no, don't run away every time I'm
Having a big feeling.
Yeah, having a big
Actually,
feeling.
right before he said that quote
Mhm.
that you shared, he says, I'm always going to love Shelby, no matter how much she hated me or wanted to push me away.
Yes,
He was in love with her.
he was. That was the one of the things I had highlighted was when he said that he'd loved her since they were teenagers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh,
let
that
me
was
give
cute.
you my thoughts on what happened in order for them to split or hate each other.
Mhm.
So I think that she was with old dude, you know, the joker that she was with that got her
Clint.
pregnant. Clint.
Was it
And
Colin?
that was from the other
I'm
book.
pretty sure it's Clint.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so they were together. I think that the issue came when she might have just had the miscarriage or lost the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so trigger warning for anybody who has had that. So
Mhm.
sorry that if that's a trigger for you. But after they lost the baby, I think that's when Miles probably came in and was like, you need to leave or da da da. And
Well, but he caught them cheating, and that's why he said that.
he got him cheating.
Yeah.
So I think, but I don't think Miles knew what was actually like that she had lost the baby yet. So she's feeling all of these big feelings about not only losing the baby, but also now Clint is like telling this guy to leave, and we haven't dealt with this grief yet. And so, but then Clint knows that he's cheating, and maybe he just found out, and they're all going through these big feelings, and she's just like, why is everybody in all these situations turning against me? And maybe grandma said something else on top of that situation that just was too much.
Mm.
And so she left.
Yeah.
Because if
I could see that.
given that situation, I,
we'll
would
have
have
to
left
read
too.
the next one and figure out.
Maybe.
There's so many ways this could go.
Yeah, honestly, I
I
mean,
think-
that might even be what happened. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, obviously, she ends up with him in the book.
Right.
And she said, "I'm sorry" first.
Did she?
I think she said she was sorry. At one point when she was crying in the kitchen, this is one of my other favorite parts, was she like had sunk down to the floor and she was like, I don't remember if she was crying or having a panic attack,
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
but she had like her face in her hands and then all of a sudden she felt something
That
on her
part
shoulder,
was so
and she
cute.
looked up, and it was Belle, the little
Yeah.
girl
Oh, I
who's
love
like
that
2,
baby.
like a little baby, like totting around.
And then
And
she
then
just
she
held
grabs her
her.
with the little hands and squeezes her face. I was like, that's
It's like the Bluey
precious.
episode when Bluey walks up to the mom and she's like, she must have been, walking towards something she loved, and it was her mom that she was walking when she
Aw.
took her first steps. It's beautiful. If you watch
So
Bluey.
sweet.
All right, can I
But-
tell you another part that I really liked?
Yeah.
All right, this is okay. I think this was a book talk book, and
It was.
so this is one of the scenes that people talk about a lot.
Heck yeah, it
Mhm.
was. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Chapter 18.
I waited for this scene
The entire book.
for the entire book, and I
Literally.
kept looking, and I was like,
Where is
this
it?
isn't a very big book. And I was like, I feel like a lot has to happen. What on earth is going to happen? So should we lay the groundwork for that scene before?
Sure, go ahead.
So,
Tell me when to read.
Shelby and Miles are in the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
talking, and this is when we meet Laura, whatever. They brought her. I think they might have seen her outside. I can't remember. But anyways, she is inside. They're all inside together talking, and Laura
Mm-hmm.
likes Miles.
Yeah, but also, like, can you not get a hint? You
Right.
know?
Girl.
He didn't want to call you.
No.
Yeah. He met her in a grocery store, and they kind of sort of hit it off, but
Mhm.
he's like not interested because he knows his heart is for Shelby.
Yeah.
So anyways, this girl's not taking the hint, and Shelby's kind of being a little shithead. So she's like, well, why don't you two go on a date? I'll watch Belle. So she like facilitates.
Sabotaging herself.
Yeah, she like facilitates this date, and Miles like begrudgingly he goes. And so Shelby watches the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and when he comes home, this is what happens.
30 minutes later, Belle nodded off. She'd been snuggling on my chest, so I rested my hand on her back and changed the channel with my other hand. I finally settled on a cooking show, as you do. My eyes felt heavy, but there was no way I was going to miss Miles coming home. I needed to know how his date went. Suddenly, the feeling of 2 arms sliding underneath my back and knees startled me awake. The room was dark except for the low glow of the TV. Miles was staring down at me when my eyes whipped open. "What are you doing?" I asked. He hoisted me up, pulling me close to his chest. "You fell asleep," he said. I held on to Belle, terrified that he was going to drop us. "I can walk." Should I keep going?
No.
Okay, yeah. That's all
Wait.
I got. I mean, I highlighted that
Karen.
part. Yeah.
That's not even the one I wanted.
That's not the one you wanted? Which one did you
Did
want?
he say
Should I just keep going?
no? Isn't that the one where he said you need to stop doing that? Loving my-
Okay, I
That's
got
what I
you.
wanted.
I got you.
That's what I thought you were gonna read.
Okay, well that was the part where he picks her up, and that's like the like first. I mean, not first real connection, but
mention that I like that he carries her around.
a lot.
Like every time
4
something
times, I think.
happens, he picks her up, and it's like he's so stressed out about what's happening or whatever that he feels like in order to protect her the best, he just needs to like carry her
yeah,
and
he's a
move her
carrier.
to get her to safety as fast as possible, even though there's like nothing ever
I know.
for him to be.
What was the scratching at the door?
I
I
don't
thought
know.
like there was gonna be a cat at some point that the old lady took care of, but I think she was just crazy.
Well, no, she mentioned so
They put cameras
Shelby moves back. Obviously,
out. Sorry, we've
addressed that.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to live in the inn though because she's stressed about it, like
Right.
just PTSD for whatever happened there. So she moves into the cottage out back where, spoiler alert, Charlotte lived there, but which is her grandma.
Who died?
And Miles doesn't tell her because he knows she won't be happy to know that she's living in her dead grandma's cottage.
Panic.
But anyways, she's been staying there, and it's happened like several times now. She wakes up in the middle of the night and something's scratching on her front door. So that's what they're talking about, the scratching. But
Mhm.
what scratching?
We
Do
don't
you
know.
remember? She said, I was expecting a raccoon to attack me like that one time a raccoon attacked me in the doorway.
Do you think that's how she lost the baby?
I don't know. No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
That's
just saying,
pretty
I think
extreme.
I think
My God.
I'm thinking of the Grey's Anatomy, or no, I think it was Private Practice episode. That was terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
Have y'all seen that?
No.
Oh, this crazy lady, like,
Oh, rips the baby out.
Yeah.
Like, does a C-section at home.
yeah,
That's a real life thing. That's happened to multiple women. That's sad.
Man, sorry.
But yeah, no, I think it was a raccoon scratching. And
Yeah,
then
she's
by the
just
time
paranoid.
he got there to help her, it was gone. So he was just like, he took her because he didn't know what was wrong.
Yeah,
Because she didn't even
That's
tell him what
that's
was
a
wrong.
different time though.
yeah. Can I? Okay,
The one
I found
that
the part
Sydney's reading is when he gets back from his date.
with
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I found the part that you're talking about.
But we were talking about, it doesn't matter.
It's the same one. Okay, just wait. He says, "Thank you for that." He said, his voice low and his gaze so intense. It took my breath, Lord, my breath away. For what? I knew I should look away, but I couldn't. My gaze drifted down to his lips before I forced it back up. That was a mistake. The look in his eyes intensified as he moved closer to me. For taking care of my daughter, I appreciate it. My mouth went dry. His chest was practically pressed against mine as he towered over me. Of course, I love that little girl, I whispered. He studied me for a moment before he tipped his head back and let out a low, guttural growl. Something inside of me broke, and all I wanted was to feel his lips on mine. Don't say that to me, he said, staring at me. What? I whispered. I knew I needed to get out of here. If I didn't, I might do something that I would regret in the light of tomorrow. Tell me that you love my daughter. Hold her like she's your own. His fingers were on my exposed arm, always so descriptive, tracing lines as he dragged them up and down, leaving goosebumps in their wake. Miles, I knew I should say I didn't want this, but the truth was I didn't know what I wanted.
Girl, we know.
Yep.
We know what you want and you know what you want, so just let it happen. Instead of letting us go through like 4 more chapters.
Yeah. But my
It was all
favorite
good,
part
though.
Yeah.
was when she called him after she heard the scratching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a sweet part.
And she was like, okay, I shouldn't have even called him. So she hangs up on him. He comes over, bursts open the door, picks her up out of bed. She's like, what are you doing? And what does he say? I can't protect you and my daughter in separate houses. So
Yeah.
he just takes her over to his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how he always has the baby monitor hooked on his pocket.
I
Always.
know.
Isn't that cute?
I love a good dad moment.
He's a good dad. He was a good dad.
Daddy?
Okay. You know,
She said that at one point. She was like, oh, daddy doesn't know how to do your hair. And I thought he was going to be like, oh.
And I,
I liked one thing he did say was after Shelby's car broke down, she called him for help and he came and picked her up, and then he helped her get in the car and he opened the door for her.
Yeah, I
and
love
he
that.
helped her get in the truck, and as before he was pulled off, he was like, he called him and Belle my ladies. He was like-
And said he was the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
After reading the about the author,
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering if she based Miles and Belle off of maybe her husband and her daughter. So I thought that was really cute because she called her husband her knight in shining armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She mentioned in her like about the author thing that I had read
hmm
that she takes bits and pieces from her favorite books and movies and like
puts them in.
rewrites them into her stories.
That's really cool.
I love that little fact about her.
So maybe it's something she'd seen before or whatever. But I
Okay,
just thought it was cute about how he said, my ladies.
my ladies, can I? You know, a part that I was like pissed off for Shelby's sake, and also excited for the relationship's sake. When Laura, they're at the club,
Oh my gosh.
I was.
and with her and
Frustrated.
Abigail are at the club because
Girls' night.
Miles. Did Miles just get back from something, a date or something?
No, I think she genuinely, the two of them just went to.
Oh,
Have
it
a
was
girls' night.
Asher, or
I
the
thought
guy
it was
that Abigail was with.
Anders.
Anders. Because Bash had just like had a panic attack in the store.
That was so
that was
weird.
After. That was like the end of the book.
no, it was that situation. That's why she had to have a girls' night.
I thought that
I think. me
Shelby
see.
wanted the girls' night after the situation with Miles in Belle's
Getting
room.
heated up, and she's
Yeah.
starting to have all these feelings. And then Abigail had the date with Anders,
hmm
and they were making out a bunch.
Yeah.
I think it was just a girls' night, but then Laura is at the bar,
Yeah.
and
That bitch.
Sorry.
I know.
Can I rewind?
Ugh.
This is I hate that I'm jumping around. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's
just
I
our
think
brains.
something had happened to her with drinking.
Because she
Shelby?
said she didn't
Yeah.
want to drink very much.
When Shelby left,
Oh, yeah.
he said, "Don't drink too much or
Well-
be careful." And then he like made a point. He was trying to like really be like, "Please be careful, like be safe."
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that, but then I also kind of thought back to how she would say they would hide it in the closet when her mother was doing a drunken rage
That's true.
So-
because her mother did die.
in a car wreck. Yeah.
There was,
With her yoga instructor.
yeah, but was it a drunk driving situation?
I don't think
know.
it said.
But I don't think the apple fell far from the tree,
Right.
Because
Mm-hmm.
just because her mom was an alcoholic doesn't mean she's not going to be. Because she got emotional at the bar, and her first response was,
To drink.
"I'm
Let's
gonna
get
get
lit."
drunk," and had 5 shots. I'm sorry, if I had 5 shots of anything, I'd be pretty freaking drunk.
Yeah.
But so what happened was Laura had walked by and came up to her and basically was like rubbing it in her face that they had a wonderful time, and then she goes and tells her that they had sex, which in
Makes
fact
her-
they really didn't.
No.
But why would she, like,
Because she knew.
women?
She was trying to make her jealous.
Mhm.
She was trying to be a bee.
So then,
I'm petty, so I'd been like, oh, so you know how good it is. And then she would have been like, I thought they weren't into each other.
so then did she text or call Miles? I can't remember.
yeah, she
she
gets
texted him.
smashed, and then she
Text him, and he comes and gets her off after she
Which
was dancing
I
with the
also
other
love
guy.
that.
Yeah.
She's like, no, Parker's here. And he's like, who?
Right.
I know you did not just say some other guy.
Yeah.
He comes, gets her, brings her back, makes her get in the shower, or there was a shower.
Yeah.
he
thing.
helped her like feel better because he got her some water and like had her sit down for a little while, and then
she
he
was like, will you unzip my dress for me?
She did that. That's third date. We don't have a lot of third date to talk about.
Oh, we
so
don't.
We're gonna
Sorry,
talk
sorry,
about
sorry.
that on third date.
Should we just move into third date?
No!
Oh, no, we got to talk about the ending.
We gotta talk about Abigail. We haven't talked
Do
about
we?
Abigail at all.
I feel
I
like
just
we
wanna-
need to bring up Bash.
Okay.
I just want to mention a
Because
few things.
I
And
love
Amber's.
Bash, and I want to know more about Bash.
I have one highlight from Bash
Okay.
when he was digging through her trunk and all that.
Yeah,
Because
that's so weird.
I love that little giggle.
A chipmunk ran into Abigail's trunk while she was unloading stuff from her car.
Yeah.
And he saw it, and he was trying to help it because he didn't want it to get stuck in there. And she comes out and sees him, and he's like this dark, mysterious man wearing all black with like long, shaggy hair.
Love it.
And she's like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna kidnap me."
Yeah,
Like,
but good for her
bitch,
for
he's-
confronting. I would have been like,
He's
I'm just going to let him
digging
take
in
the
your
car.
He's not looking for you. But anyways,
He's looking for something, not you.
dang it, I gotta get this is gonna be loud. Touching my mic.
You should have saw.
I know, I
Producer
couldn't help it.
Adam's
I had
face.
to. Because I was convinced that I wasn't going to read direct quotes, and then I decided I had to read direct quotes. So, she's, what? Okay, so she's saying, like, you could kidnap me. And he's like, I'm not going to kidnap you. Like, people aren't, you know. And then she takes offense to it, like, what? Am I not good enough to be kidnapped?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Kidnappable?
So she says,
Because he said they would give her back.
and then he goes, and now that I know you, I realize that no man would be crazy enough to kidnap
Yeah.
you. I was like,
Dead.
oh, I like this guy.
I
Yeah.
loved him.
She
So
said,
then,
a lot of men want to kidnap me.
yeah, touching Mike again. Sorry. So then, I think she met Anders already, or
Yeah.
she met this guy. This guy comes into the cafe, super good looking, charming, boring guy stuff. And they go on a date.
Like Lucas. from Mighty Duck.
Was anyone else having like blaring sirens?
Yes. He was a red flag.
Yeah,
He
I
was
was
a
like,
red
this guy's
flag,
going to be
honey.
a bad guy
I
for
was
sure.
fucking panicking when he came to get her. So he's like, we're gonna go on a date, and she's over here thinking, we're gonna go to this club place, or we're gonna go to this dinner place. He's like, oh no, we're gonna go to my apartment.
Which is
I
absolutely,
think-
honey, no, girl.
I think that if Bash wasn't there,
something
bad would have happened.
Exactly.
And it was a little suspicious to me that he went to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Just like ran, like they were making out. He's like, okay, I'm
think
gonna
he
go to the
went
bathroom.
do drugs.
Oh,
I mean, maybe.
That's my guess.
But I was like, okay, that's
kiss the
weird.
mic.
I'm gonna move it again and get yelled at.
No, and then he was, I think when Bash comes in, he was like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yeah, it was
Sir.
weird.
So, okay.
Sir, red flag.
We know, the listeners might not know. When
Yeah.
they get to the apartment, they start making out,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Which
wouldn't
she's-
have even
ugh.
stepped foot in that apartment. I would have been like, no, you can
No,
let me go
ma'am.
now.
Sam.
But they're making out, and then all of a sudden, Bash comes in, and he's like, oh, that's my roommate. And she realizes it's the same guy from her car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we get him.
See, then I would have been freaking out like, yo,
You
you really
thought
trying to get me, bro.
There was a guy trying to kidnap you, like while he was getting in your trunk. But the guy who said, we're going to go to my apartment where
For a
nobody knows
first
you're
date?
going.
Abigail, honey, you're
Just
a red
me.
That
flag.
guy's not
You-
going to kidnap you.
she did mention that once he said, oh, Bash must still be home. He must be home. She felt better knowing that another person was in the apartment.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, if you're having that feeling in the bottom of your stomach that like maybe I shouldn't be doing this, then you shouldn't fucking do it.
And then they drank his wine. I thought that was rude.
Yeah, expensive wine. Ugh. But anyways, so that happens. They kiss. Blah blah blah. She likes it. Gag. And
Yeah, I would have stopped talking to him after that.
no, that's not a
Situation.
date.
No, it's not. It's a hookup.
Yeah.
You're trying to, yeah. But at the same time, it sounded like she was a little bit desperate for just that too.
Yeah, sometimes you
Yeah.
just need a little attention.
Yeah.
But what was weird to me,
You better watch that one. Peyton, you better give that one plenty of attention or she might go get a little attention.
oh my God, no. She's not in a relationship.
I know. It's
She
just
just,
funny 'cause
she
you're
just
like,
wants something.
sometimes you just need a little attention. So funny.
So, anywho,
I love you.
when they go to Anders brings
Yes.
Sebastian
Mm-hmm.
to Abigail's cafe, which is also a library, so I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Or bookstore, I guess.
Bookstore. Yeah.
And that whole situation was weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Everything from them walking in
Mm-hmm.
to them leaving was weird.
Is this a situation when he has
Yes.
the panic attack?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they come in. He's like, "Oh, I told Bash your
Anders and
food is so
Bash.
good."
Mm-hmm.
So they sit down. She cooks some food. They're eating. Anders like makes out with her so aggressively that she drops stuff, and she even was taken aback by like him shoving his tongue in her mouth.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, that's weird." And then he just says, "Okay, bye." Like gets up. Like his phone goes off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he had a phone call.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
he's a
then he
drug
just
dealer.
left. That's what I was wondering.
Girl.
So
Who
he
knew?
gets up and
Harmony Island.
leaves, but leaves Bash there,
Mm-hmm.
and which was another weird thing to
Yeah.
me. And then Bash is like, "Oh, sorry about him," and helps her clean up.
He was like immediately apologizing. He grabbed the plates and stuff, and he was like walking around the counter to like, and he started washing the dishes
Yeah.
and stuff.
And he did like mention a little bit, just watch out what you're getting into.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And if a guy's friend does that,
You need to listen.
yeah.
yeah.
So what sets? I can't remember
They were.
what sets him off.
She felt awkward just standing there watching him do the dishes, and so she grabbed a towel to
Mhm.
wash him, and then he handed it to her,
And they touch.
and they touched, and they both felt that connection,
Right.
but they both let go
and
of
then
the
they
plate,
both let go,
and it broke.
and it fell and broke and made a loud noise, and then he
Went full protective
He-
mode.
It said he
grabbed her.
Bent over and was like in pain, and then she touched his shoulder, and that's when he grabbed her.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe the loud noise that had affected him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say he's like ex-military with
That's
PTSD,
what I thought.
and
Well-
he thought there was an explosion, so his first reaction is to like
Cover.
duck and cover.
Yeah.
Then he realizes she's there and in danger.
Yeah,
So then he goes into protection mode
because
he takes
picked
her
up. He was
around.
like, "Are you hurt?"
Well, he
Oh my
takes her
God.
around the corner and he's crouching down.
Yeah.
So he's like in protection, like defense mode. Like someone's attacking us. We need to get safe.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening.
But
there.
she
It's
said
just,
when he
like-
bent down, he moved his hair out of his face, and there was a long scar across
Yeah.
his face.
So I think he got bombed.
That's what I was like.
Mhm.
Something he definitely went through something,
And
For
I
sure.
would like to know. I really liked him.
Me too.
and then that was kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of, and then we're getting towards the end of the book.
Yeah. So then no. I have one more thing to talk about.
Okay, girl.
Abigail's sister had
I hate
me
her.
wrecked. No, don't hate her. She is mentally ill.
I get
That
that.
woman has postpartum depression, and shame on Abigail for not fucking getting her help.
Okay, I get that, but also, like, I'm pretty sure that she's gonna kill this kid in the next book.
No, she's gonna kill herself.
Whoa.
There's no chance of her giving this kid baby shaken syndrome.
Trigger warning.
She doesn't touch the
Oh,
kid.
yes, sorry.
No, she doesn't touch the kid.
That's why.
Remember?
That's why Abigail has to take care of him so much.
She doesn't hear the baby crying because she's so, like, having that postpartum depression.
But Abigail never, like, mentions that, oh, maybe he has really bad diaper rash because she doesn't think Sabrina's changing him or anything like that. So she is interacting with him unless we're just missing that information.
Well, most of the interactions she had with the baby in the book was because the baby had been crying for hours and no one had helped it.
It's true.
And then when the dad called, he said he couldn't get a hold of her, and she was instantly worried about her sister. Like, I hope she's okay. She's
true.
not worried about her sister hurting the baby. I was 100% for sure she was gonna leave the cafe early just to go check on her and find her freaking dead. I was for sure that's what was gonna happen.
I think in the next one, because it's about Abigail, that there's gonna be more information about that, because I need to know, like, what is going on with that.
Use this book as a freaking PSA and show that you should help people that are like that.
For sure.
It's not
Postpartum
a normal
ain't no joke.
Yeah, it's not a normal feeling to. And then she was like, she didn't even hear him. She's like, no, I didn't even hear him. Like, that's not normal.
No.
Okay, but yeah, she did say that, and then said that she, like, didn't sleep well, and she was like, oh, but you didn't hear him crying.
Yeah.
And then she didn't think anything weird about that.
Have you ever seen someone in serious, like, a manic depressive episode?
No, I mean, like, Abigail didn't think that was weird for Sabrina.
Oh.
And she should have.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm like, she could be awake. Her eyes could be awake.
Right.
But she might not freaking see or hear anything around her because she's stuck in her own head so bad. It's so sad.
Check on your pregnant friends, people.
Your ones that just had babies.
Yes. For more reasons than one. Back to the book.
What else? I said Abigail should be with Sebastian.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that Miles carries Shelby everywhere. We talked about that. And then I said the ending, WTF.
Girl,
should we spoil it and tell the ending?
I think we should leave it. But I will say that I was
Okay.
mad.
You guys.
Me too.
You have to read the book because the ending, I'm talking last sentence, mic drop.
I know.
That's it.
I was pissed.
No epilogue. Nothing.
I flipped a page. There was nothing else. I was like, this bitch.
You pick up that book and look at how many blank pages are after that.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've never seen that many blank pages. It was
She
like
was
she
like-
was rubbing it in like, nope,
Guess
you gotta
what?
get the next book.
I finished the book while I was here, while we were kind of getting ready. And I was like, oh my gosh. Adam heard me because he was right there. But I was like, you're freaking kidding me.
I definitely want to read. I liked the book and I want to read more of it.
Before we do
I
our
wanna read
speed
the next
date and like
No,
fuck, marry,
no,
kill.
No. Third date.
Well, before we do that, do you think that Belle is Miles's kid?
Yes.
100%. There's no
Yes.
doubt in your mind.
Yes.
Biologically.
Yes. Why wouldn't she be?
Because he didn't know she was pregnant. Showed up a year later, so like 9
Was
months.
it a year later?
Yeah. She left for a year and then she got dropped off and just said, hey, this is your kid.
So the baby was 3 months old.
And also they said she doesn't look anything like him.
Oh, I didn't catch that part. I don't think it matters. That's his baby.
I know,
I don't think
but
it matters
do you
because
think
like
that maybe in the next book she's gonna be going for custody, and maybe he doesn't have any claim on her because biologically that's not his baby.
I feel like it shouldn't matter.
Motherfucker.
I've been
That
raising
would
this
We
be
kid.
just told the
Cool.
ending.
Not really, but
Not
kind
really.
of.
Oh, well,
Well, let's talk about
On
the
to the
third date.
third date.
So remember when we talked about Miles bringing Shelby back home after the bar and just helping her get taking care of her.
Which wasn't like the last time when he brought somebody from
this
the
book
bar
was
and
not
he got
like
drunk and threw
spicy
up.
pepper. It was
Right.
like slow burn,
It was so nice.
gentle, romantic.
It's like a green chili.
They didn't even
intimate.
have sex.
Exactly.
It's like a jalapeno. It's not really spicy,
I liked it.
but you can put on a nacho.
So jalapeno with cream cheese.
My biggest takeaway from this was, so she's instigating the physical contact. She's like trying to kind of get him, and he does end up kissing her.
Ooh, but I liked when she was watching him work out, and he was like, "I like that she's watching me work out."
Mm-hmm.
But
was cute.
that I wish their first kiss hadn't been when she was drunk.
drinking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
That's all I had. But then I said that I was just really glad that they stopped and didn't take that further, because I know
They would have regretted it.
Mm-hmm.
he
For sure.
would have.
Yeah.
He
especially
would
him.
have questioned the whole time if what she did was because she was drunk.
But I
Yeah.
like that he didn't say it. I like that she stopped herself.
Yeah.
And that was the
That's a
point
good
too
point.
when I said, when we were talking about how she's always pushing him away,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Okay, I'll give you space. Okay, I'll give you space."
Yeah.
And this time he tried to give her space, and she grabbed him with her legs.
Yeah.
Because she was on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
So she like pulled him back in, and she's like, "No, like, I want you, but we can't do this right now."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I appreciate that. Good
me
job.
too. I like that too.
Good job, Shelb.
And then the only other thing I had said was, Miles sounds hot.
Yeah, he
I
does.
feel
The
same way.
body.
And him carrying around as a
The body's
baby.
bodying, honey.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, dads. I mean, whew. Sometimes I see Adam with my kids, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's not an ick.
Nope, definitely not an ick.
Reverse. All right.
Okay, so we're at
Wait. I have a couple of the things I want from the third date.
there's not many things.
I know, but
I'm
there
surprised.
was just like a couple that I thought was really cute.
That's
Okay.
good. I'm glad.
This one.
Low-key third date.
I pressed my forefinger to the bottom of her chin and tipped her face toward me
Oh,
before I
yeah.
took the dish towel and rubbed her cheek. Her whole body stilled as her gaze moved slowly to meet mine. She looked
Aw.
startled, not scared,
Yep.
but it was in her hesitation that I realized what I just said. And I just
So Anders did that to Abigail,
but I didn't like that.
Same.
and it was the same move, but it hit different.
Yeah.
His was icky. His was
I was
gross.
like,
ugh. Yeah. His was cringeworthy. That
Mhm.
was
Okay,
salivate.
and I got one more highlight.
salivatation.
Gross.
That's cringe.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
This highlight is like the third date rule, but emotionally and not physically. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I like that. Okay, honey.
He wrapped his arm around my shoulder as his body stilled. I want you to know that all I've ever wanted to do is protect you. I know we have things to talk about and demons to face, but I want you to know that I will always be here waiting for you. I stared at his chest and drew circles with my finger, enjoying the feeling of his soft t-shirt on my fingertips. I know. And when you're ready, I will love you with every part of me. He leaned forward and pressed his lips to the top of my head. I know, I said. It was barely a whisper from all the emotions in my throat. And when that day comes, I'm going to marry you because I never want you to leave. He paused. I want you to be my wife and Belle's mother.
Yeah, that was so freaking sweet. But at the
I
same
cried.
I
time,
highlighted that one.
if someone came on to you that hard, would that not scare you a little bit?
It would.
It
Like,
would be incredibly frightening, but
wanna-
also I think they
We're
just
not even
had that
dating.
connection
you
for
want, you
so
love me
long.
already. You want to marry me, and you want to make me a stepmom or a mom.
I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's get married right now.
Okay, are you guys
That
ready
was a
for
sweet
Fuck,
moment.
Marry, Kill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone? Oh, I can go.
Okay, girl.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Fuck Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Marry Miles.
Okay.
Kill Patricia.
Okay. Nope. Got you one better.
Okay.
Fuck Bash Sebastian.
Uh-huh.
Marry Miles.
Uh-huh.
Kill Tamara.
Well, we don't know her.
Kill her.
Bitch got to go.
If you're gonna kill all the Patricias in the world, Wait, who's Patricia?
The boss that fired her, and it was so mean.
I was so confused.
Oh yeah, I
For
forgot.
some reason, thought you meant Missy.
I was supposed to talk about this. So, just real quick
Patricia.
backstory.
Wait, that's a vine. Patricia.
Shelby's boss's name is Patricia,
Hated
and
her.
when she is fired, the boss won't even tell her why.
Yeah.
She
How
was
long
just
have you
like,
been
I
here?
just think it's our time to part ways.
I thought that was so
what
rude.
the fuck kind of answer
It
is
didn't
that?
even like look at her for very long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so stupid. Okay, what do you got? What do you got?
All right. I'm going to F Miles.
Hmm.
Mary Bash.
Oh,
I can't wait to read that book.
Me too. I'm
I
so
want to
excited
know
about
about
him.
him.
I love a good
You're gonna nurse him through all
overprotective.
those panic
Yeah,
attacks.
exactly. And then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna kill Anders. We need less of him in the world.
Yeah.
No, I really think that he's a bad guy.
I don't think
me
I'd go
too.
to jail for killing him yet, but
Well, he gonna go to jail for something.
I want to find
we'll
out more
figure
about
out.
Charges.
Okay, speed date.
Speed date.
I honestly didn't have anyone pictured in this, so
Me
I just
neither.
started looking people up.
So I was thinking,
Ooh.
I was basing it more off of their characteristics and like personality wise, and not because I don't feel like
Look
she
like.
described
Yeah,
what they
Yes,
looked
sure.
like too much.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had two different picks for Miles,
Uh-huh.
and one was Taylor Johnson.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
His
he
wife.
just-
That whole situation with his wife is a. I feel that's.
We
an
don't
ick.
have time to go into
Sorry,
that.
yeah, I know.
Because I don't know what that's about, but we don't got time
But
for
I
that.
also picked Shawn Mendes, but not like baby Shawn. Like,
Is there an adult Sean?
yeah.
Like that one right there? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just
That's-
because I just
that's
think
bodying.
he's like so sweet. Like his
Yeah.
face looks so sweet.
Mm.
Do you want to see my Miles?
Yes, I do.
I thought Tom Hardy.
I do love Tom
You're
Hardy,
gonna get
but
a lot of pictures of Tom Hardy, but there
Ooh.
is a picture where he looks just so sweet and wholesome. And
I
I
need
sent it
him
to
to
Adam,
be-
and now Adam is not picking the one I want you to
Not
show
Bane.
them. Keep going.
shouldn't he
keep
be like a little
going.
younger?
Yes, he is. Oh, there, left, up in the suit. That one.
Zoot suit.
Okay, I can see it a
Isn't
little
that
bit.
cute?
Yeah.
He looks so nice.
He got hit by a snowplow.
Ooh. No, he
Did
didn't.
you have
He
one
didn't.
It
for
was
didn't.
the arrow guy.
He didn't. Oh
Jeremy
yeah.
Renner? They
Yeah.
have this. They're the same person.
The arrow guy. What does he play?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
Hawkeye was my favorite for
See,
a
I
long
knew
time,
that.
but then
Do you have for Anders?
No.
I did Ansel Elgort. Ansel
yeah. What is?
It's a house.
That's not how you spell it. That's from him.
That's it. Wait.
He's dyslexic. Leave him
He pulled
alone.
up houses. Anders looks like a house.
He's built. He's
Yeah,
a
click on that
brick
first one.
house.
You can't tell me that guy walks in.
Yeah.
That's
He
Anders.
looks like a child.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, I don't know about him.
I mean, probably not in real life, but I mean,
What about
maybe.
Shelby?
I didn't have any. I didn't picture anybody.
I
to be
don't
honest.
know who this girl is.
Hayden Panettiere.
No,
That's
I know
who I
that
picked for
is.
Shelby.
Oh yeah. I could see that. Oh, I love her.
That she's too nice looking.
She's so cute.
You think she loves
She could be
me?
Abigail.
She's itty bitty.
She'd be a perfect Abigail.
Yeah. Okay, I could picture her in an Abby.
But I picked a different Abigail. Who's your
Okay.
Shelby?
My Shelby is Emily Rudd. Does anyone know who that is?
Is it Paul Rudd's wife?
No.
Oh
that
my
first one on the left.
gosh.
Left.
She's really pretty.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl.
Okay. Yours is better.
I don't know who she is or what she's in.
She's in One Piece.
That's a new movie, right? It
New
just came out.
series.
Yeah. It looked
Anime.
good. It looked good.
Ah, she's
Her name is.
gorge.
Oh, I almost got it. I almost had an anime thing, guys.
Naruto.
Okay, so you picked an Abigail?
Yeah, I
Who's your
did
Abigail?
Natalie Dormer.
Okay, shaved on the side.
She's cute.
Oh, she is really cute.
I like that middle one. Right. That one.
Ooh.
She's so like unconventionally pretty.
Yeah.
She looks
and she looks
real-
mature, but also young.
Yeah.
And then I actually picked someone for Bash as
Wait,
well.
wait. My Abigail.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you picked one.
My Abigail is also another person I do not know. Her name is Emma Roberts.
Oh, you don't know?
You don't know Emma Roberts?
Nope.
She's
What?
Julia Roberts' niece.
Cool.
Love her.
She's from Scream 5.
Because I'm looking at
She-
their
she was
characteristics.
Nancy
their
Drew?
faces.
Yeah, Nancy Drew. Did you
I
not watch
look-
Nancy Drew?
Go down. Go down. Go down.
How do you not know who?
That yellow.
How do you
Keep
not
going.
know Emma Roberts?
Girl, I don't know who anybody is. I don't watch TV.
American Horror Story.
I don't watch TV. I
She
read
was married
books.
to the guy,
I
and they abused each other.
yeah. Don't do any of that. I don't watch the news. I don't have a Twitter.
Robert.
Okay, I do have a
Patterson?
Twitter, but I only got to stalk Zach Bryan. Now I'm done stalking him. I'm over it.
Who picked Robert Patterson for what person?
Sebastian
Sebastian
Pattinson.
Pattinson. Is
I
that how you
do
say
love
it?
him.
Oh,
I'll take that.
Robert Patterson. I've said that.
There's
my
no
entire
ER.
life. I don't know why.
Robert.
It's like
Pattinson.
you buy a patent.
I
on
don't think
something.
he's cute enough.
Okay, but wait. There's a specific.
Wait.
Fine.
Now,
Wait.
hey. Okay.
Stop. Don't even make a vampire joke.
We're not.
Ew.
I thought you were going to the glitter picture.
I wasn't. It was one of them, but it wasn't
This
that
is the
one
skin of a killer,
specifically.
Bella.
We're looking at the pictures right
I
now.
like
That's
the
not
one-
him. That's her. That's Kristen Stewart.
But is she a?
That's
she
a good
he
one.
now, or is she a they?
Is she? I thought she kept it as she.
We're getting
don't
so
know.
off track.
Sorry. But anyways, Robert Pattinson. There's a specific picture that I enjoy
Oh,
of
that one
him
right
with
there
like
with the gray.
I like that one.
no.
That's a good one.
It's one where he has like shaggier hair, but not when he was the knight.
Hmm.
'Cause
We'll have
he
to
had-
post these on
he
our
had blonde
Instagram
hair
so
in that
people can
one.
see the pictures that we liked.
For sure.
Did you have anybody else?
Do that second one.
That one,
Kind of, but like not. You know what I mean?
That's terrible.
girl. He looks homeless.
I mean, I
So
would
did
scream,
Bash.
please don't kidnap me.
She legit thought that Bash was homeless.
Okay, we're posting
am I wrong?
that one to our Instagram page.
Yeah.
That's the one she wants.
No, I just mean that's the hair I want.
In our
On
story, we're gonna have to post.
That
it.
looks like a wig. I don't even think
It
that's his
probably
hair.
is. He has dark hair.
Wigs look a lot better than that.
Alrighty. Do we have any more things that we need to talk about for?
I have
this
some
book?
speed date quiz
yeah.
questions for
Oh.
you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
Ugh.
that was speed date. But we have questions too for speed date.
Question.
Okay, let's go.
What street was Harmony Inn on?
Willenpool.
Close, but no.
Loppener.
I don't remember.
Wappin Road.
Whippoorwillow.
Whippoorwillow.
So close. I get points for that.
Whippoorwillow.
What
Willow.
was the lawyer's name?
Tom, Miss.
Pete.
Okay, that's funny that you said Pete because
Peter Thomas.
Peter Parker, because his name was Tom Holland.
That's what it was. I remember that
Yeah,
part.
isn't that
Oh
funny?
my gosh. I didn't even catch that, and I love Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Who is Rhonda?
Rhonda. You just got Rhonda.
What?
You're fired. That's a New Girl reference.
Oh, sorry.
Do you remember when Winston dates that girl named Rhonda and
Yes.
they do their horrible pranks on each other? Like, she does these terrible, terrible pranks.
I need to watch
And
this
she's like,
episode
"Ha!
again.
You just got Rhonda. And then
Who is Rhonda though?
they get married
Is that
as a joke.
Is that the girl, the office girl?
Nope. That was Sarah without the H.
Rhonda?
One more guess, and then you lose.
Bloody hell, I don't remember who Rhonda is. Who's Rhonda? Can you give us context, maybe? Context clue? Is she-
Rhonda is billowing smoke.
Oh, her car.
Ah, that was a great hint.
Thank you.
That was a good hint.
Any more?
Nope, that was it.
That's all I got. So, what's our next happily
Smash or
ever after?
pass.
Oh, yeah.
Pass.
What?
I'm going
This
to
book?
smash and the 4 books after because I already
I'm
have
smashing
ordered it
You're
on
gonna
my Kindle.
pass this book?
I think I would skip to Abigail and Bash first.
Okay, but
You can't do that. It's out of order.
I don't have the same amount of passion as you do about a first, second, and third book.
there's
I'll
just
go
so
out of
many
order.
things that I'm intrigued by and I need to know all the
Me too.
answers. So I have to read all of the next ones.
Yep. I'm committed.
Smash.
Smash.
Pass.
Okay.
Not even one night stand.
Oh yeah.
I give it a one night stand.
Okay.
It was a quick read, which I liked.
She
Yeah.
likes some quickies.
I do. Alrighty, people.
Okay, what's our happily ever after?
Happily ever after. It is Love Your Life by Sophia Kinsella. We are so excited.
Love
This
your
little,
life.
this not little girl.
Hey.
This lady moves to whoa. This lady moves to Italy to find herself and ends up finding love. So if you're interested to hear more about that book, we'll be doing that in the next couple of episodes. So just be looking forward to that. If you have social media, you can always follow us on our Instagram, Lovers Library Pod or Lovers Library Book Club. If you want to join our online book club, we're also on Facebook as Lovers Library Book Club. We pretty much let everybody and anybody join because we love books, we love you, and we love community, and that's what we're trying to build. Again, guys, we love you. We're so glad that you're listening to us. Thanks for hanging in, and we'll see you next time.
Happily ever after.
Bye.